Our family has been a part of the church for 35 years. Well, my husband Michael and I moved to Washington from Ohio 37 years ago. Our oldest daughter, Emrys, was three and a half, and our second oldest, Mariah, was 6 months. And so I rode my bike to church and had the baby on my back and Emrys in the seat, the bike seat, and came to the church and was at the service. And then afterwards, when I was getting ready to leave, Warren Erickson, who was the pastor at the time, came running over to me and introduced himself and welcomed me to the church. And then after that, he introduced me to his wife, Cheryl. But he was so welcoming and encouraging that I felt completely comfortable coming back. Oh, I've done lots of things at the church. Worked in the Awana program, taught Sunday school, worked in children's church. I was Sunday school superintendent for a while. Did quite a few kids plays and musicals and different kinds of music programs. One of my favorite memories was the year that Zachary was baptized, and so I was able to be in the river with him when we did the baptism. And a really fun part after he came up out of the water was Dick and Mary Lou Whitney, who were like adoptive grandparents for our children. They both came right up to Zachary and put their hands on him and said that they were so proud of him, and that I don't remember exactly what they said, but it was the way they did it, by putting their hands on him and just blessing him and telling him how much they loved him. That's probably one of the most special memories I have. That our heart is for bringing others to Christ, but not just that, showing them God's love through our actions. And one thing that comes to my mind is there was a fire. I mean, it was many years ago, and it was up towards Stevens Pass, a family, and they had lost, their house had burned up, and within hours, Ralph and Betty Newell were in their car with blankets and provisions and things, and went straight on up there to see what they could do to help. And I mean, this is far before we had email communication and cell phones, and everybody could instantaneously get in touch with each other. It was through, that there was a fire, and through the emergency services. So I think that really signifies who we are. My prayer for the church is to be open to the changes and the things that stay the same. Of course, our heart for Christ is where we want to stay, but the world today is so incredibly different than it was even 5 years ago. To really stay in that mission of loving God and loving our neighbors, and to reach out to them, and to just be peaceful about it and let God work the way that He wants to work through our valley. It's pretty awesome that we are celebrating 75 years as a united congregation, kind of community of loving God, and so I look forward to the next years to come.